Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, you folks, sampler platter video series videos I do for the while. Now I go over there to try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks. In the video, in the review I just did, I went over there and I talked about Prince and his famous song Raspberry Beret. But let us not forget his lesser known hit single, the offshoot, Zero Sugar Raspberry Beret. Because that'll tie into things. But anyway, I'm inside the truck. I'm doing a review. That's how I do these things. Sometimes I'm in my house. But I'm definitely in my truck today. Unless this truck is just some sort of mental manifestation of all of man's strife and struggle. I mean, it's a Ford Escape. Take from that what you will. But yes, indeed. And on top of being in a Ford Escape, I'm also wearing a cool shirt. Folks, when I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight the cool shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing? Boom, Ballerina Toshinden shirt. Oh no, my headphones. Yes, indeed, folks. Ballerina Toshinden, a series of fighting games, came out in sort of the mid to late 90s. For a little bit, they were some business. For a little bit, they were some business. Basically until like Soul Blade and Soul Calibur came along. Then it kind of knocked them off their pedestal. I still love these games. They play a little bit janky. And after the second one, it gets a little bit rough. The third game, they tried to do some things that I don't know that they worked the way that they wanted them to. Some cool stuff, but I liked the first two the best. I think those are the two best games. And then I think there was a fourth one, but it never came to America because fuck America, I guess? That's not cool. And then they tried to do a reboot for it on the Wii of all systems. And it had nothing to do with anything, and it was just reusing the title. Lame. Lame, I say. First of all, let's get number 4 over here. Second of all, let's get a proper entry into the series again. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? What are we doing here? Well, as I just mentioned, I just got through doing a review of, boom, Dr. Pepper, Strawberries and Cream. And now, folks, I'm going to be doing, boom, Dr. Pepper, Zero Sugar, Strawberries and Cream. Ooh, it's pink and black. I will say I actually really like the contrasting colors with this. And I think that's some nice stuff. It actually works better than the normal Dr. Pepper because it's just sort of the, kind of, auburn or some shit. I don't know, some sort of red and then, against the pink. So here's the thing. I do zero sugar stuff, and I always mention I'm not the biggest zero sugar guy in the world, even though I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just taste-wise. I did, however, do a review of some zero sugar Dr. Pepper a while back. Go watch that video if you're interested. And I actually did like their version of it. Now, I do have to mention something. Dr. Pepper's always had this thing, I don't know if it's so much anymore, but when they came out with Diet Dr. Pepper, they're like, oh man, it's exactly like the stuff. It wasn't. It's not. It wasn't. But I will say their zero sugar stuff was actually pretty good. So it'll be interesting to see how this holds up against the actual sugar version. So let's give it a shot, folks. And thanks, I don't think he watches my channel at all, but just in case he does, to my coworker Chevelle, who went over there and gave me this, thank you, brother, you're a good dude. Saved me from having to go out and buy one. Oh, that's the most magical sound in the world. It's not, but it's up there. Smells similar. If anything, maybe a little bit more creamy than the normal stuff. Definitely more creamy. Well, that's an interesting development. I might actually like this more than the full sugar one. And the full sugar one, and I'll explain why. So, with the full sugar one, I brought up the fact that I thought they did a good job of mixing the Dr. Pepper base flavor with the strawberries and cream. I think that's very important. But one of my big gripe with it was the fact that I felt that the strawberries and cream didn't do much to go over there and actually emphasize the Dr. Pepper, and it actually kind of took away from it a little bit. With this, it's so blended together. For one thing, the zero sugar aspect isn't super prominent. That's a huge thing for me. Again, zero sugar is fine, but if it tastes like ass, then I just don't want to drink it. Dr. Pepper actually seems to have done a really good job. You can still taste the zero sugar a little bit, but it's nowhere near as prominent as certain other drinks. So I'll give them credit for that right off the bat. But with the way that it's blended, whereas with the full sugar one, it feels like a Dr. Pepper with a strawberries and cream hit, this actually tastes like a fully blended drink. It's kind of its own thing with just sort of certain hints of Dr. Pepper. But it's a very creamy, like smooth, it's really not half bad. Yeah, I think because it's, it's zero sugar, it's not going over there and highlighting the Dr. Pepper aspect or the strawberries and cream aspect the same way. And instead, it's allowing them to sort of blend together better. And like I said, it almost feels like like its own separate thing instead of being a Dr. Pepper derivative. It feels more like a complete taste. And I can kind of get down with that because whereas with the sugar version, it kind of makes me lament the fact that I'm not getting the full Dr. Pepper flavor because it sort of goes over there and, like I said, the strawberries and cream flavor to me sort of works against it a little bit. With this, because the Dr. Pepper aspect isn't as prominent anyway, I'm less inclined to miss that aspect. It just is this nice sort of creamy, sweet, mildly strawberry-ish drink. And the strawberry actually blends with the Dr. Pepper flavor in this. So it's less an instance of building off the base, like with this one, where it's like Dr. Pepper's at the root of it. Then you get the strawberries and cream accent. With this, it does feel more like a singular thing. So I kind of like that. Like I don't know how well this would work, obviously. If they could go over there and basically take this, but go over there and come up with a full sugar version, and I know, yeah, it sounds redundant, but what I mean is this taste, like this blend, if they were able to go over there and take this taste the way that this tastes when it's blended, come up with a sugar aspect, or a full sugar version, or a zero sugar version where you can't taste the zero sugar, because again, you can still taste a little bit, this would be a great standalone drink. Like, take the Dr. Pepper branding off of it and have it be something else entirely. I think that would actually be really cool. As a Dr. Pepper, like I said, it almost feels not like a Dr. Pepper. There's still some Dr. Pepper in there, to be sure, but it's very different than this version. And I do appreciate the fact that it feels more blended and it feels like its own drink, instead of feeling like a drink that's just taking away from the Dr. Pepper that I love. So I actually like this quite a bit. Yeah, I'm down with this. I don't know. It's hard to say how it would, be overall, like, as time goes by. Because sometimes I'll warm up to a drink as I have it more. But yeah, I can honestly say that, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Would I get it again? Surprisingly, yes. And that's not something I usually say to zero sugar stuff. But I could actually see myself getting this again. Now, the thing is, I think I would probably still go for this one more often because part of my brain wants to acclimate to the taste. Even though I liked it, but I wasn't super amazed by it. Whereas with this one, I do prefer it. And I could actually see myself getting like a 12-pack of this and just having it for an occasional drink. Now, would I recommend it to people? Absolutely. I really would. In fact, try them both. Absolutely try them both. But just that, try them both. Even if you're not usually a zero sugar person, give this one a shot because you might be surprised. Maybe. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, you can go there and have yourselves a truly zero sugar rest of your life. I mean, don't have a zero sugar rest of your life because, like, you still need sugars in your body to, like, function and do things. But, you know, a more limited sugar rest of your life. You know, let's all take that into account. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But we can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, that's not always the easiest thing to do in the world. Trust me, I know it. I live it. But you find yourselves in situations where you might go over there and be tempted to be an asshole, or you might even fall into the trapping of being an asshole. Sometimes it happens. It's important we take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully you go over there and do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. You're going to get yourself some zero sugar Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream, as I have done here today in this video. Maybe like me, you're going to be pretty down with it. You're going to be like, okay, that's not bad. This is, all right, this is pretty good. So you go over there. This goes back to my previous review of this one. Go watch that one if you want the full thing. After we go over there and we find the original Dr. Pepper in the Dr. Pepper Lazarus pit that he's been stowing away, we go over there and we convince him to go over there and come up with a zero sugar version of his Lazarus pit, because while maybe it's gone over there and it's kept him alive for these, you know, since 1885, you know, maybe he's over there, it's too much sugar, he's got the diabetes. He's got to check his stuff. It's a whole thing. It's a pain in the ass for him, you know. So we go over there, we get the zero sugar version. Gets rid of the diabetes when he goes into the pit. He's feeling better, doesn't go crazy. Takes command of the Dr. Pepper. Breaks the stranglehold of Coca-Cola. Becomes the most popular drink brand in the world. And you and myself will go over there and be at his side to go over there and help usher in this new golden age. Or conversely, well, in the last one I said to go over there and go watch Batman the Animated Series. Still go do that. Maybe go over there and accompany it with some original Disney's gargoyles. I'm just saying. Bye!